Switch Radio Sport. This is Switch.
Luke, congratulations on your 2-1 defeat yesterday versus Lincoln United. What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was a really tough game yesterday. The pitch wasn't ideal. Obviously, the weather conditions, it was windy, raining. It was just like a proper battling kind of game against the team that are probably used to playing on that pitch more than we are. We play at 4G on home, and I don't want to use the pitch as an excuse, but to win the league, ultimately, you've got to be able to play on any condition, and probably think that they were more accustomed to playing on that kind of surface than we were. I thought they clearly came with a kind of system of play and knew how they wanted to play, and that worked. Sometimes football games aren't pretty, and I definitely would call yesterday's game not the prettiest of games, but fair play to Lincoln. You know, they came and grafted, and we just kind of got a bit not surprised. I think we knew that was going to happen, but you know, knowing it's going to happen, and then there's one thing going out there and matching that energy, and that's kind of what I put it down to.
You've had such a great season, and the disappointment regarding losing Red or Loughborough has to be a credit to you and the team on how well you've done this season, doesn't it?
All credit goes to Loughborough. Obviously, you know, on paper we're still in it, and I like to say never, but to win the league, they've been perfect. They haven't lost all season. I think they've only dropped points to Peterborough, really. So, you know, complete credit to Loughborough, and you know, it's got to be a credit to us as a kind of team. We came in pretty much a completely new team, bar like 4 or 5 maybe that were here last year, and from going as a club from finishing 9th, I believe it was, for 3 seasons in a row, to then, you know, going into a title race and being part of the 4 teams that are going for the league. We're incredibly proud as a coaching staff. We're proud of the girls for achieving that, because ultimately they're the ones who go out and compete every week. So yeah, fair play to them for you know, battling with the best.
Yeah, they certainly are, and as you say, it's certainly not over yet. What would you put this success down to this season? Because it does show that things can be done very quickly, you know, over the space of a summer, really.
I think you see it a lot kind of in Tier 4 and even Tier 3, where if a new management coaching staff comes in, then, you know, teams can just flip like that, and that's kind of what happened in the summer, really. In July and August, we probably brought in quite a lot of players, and you know, we started like an absolute train, like went on a really good run, and then around Christmas kind of had a bit of a slip up. But it's hard to put it down to one thing. I'd say consistency is the main thing, really. We've kept a lot of clean sheets this year, and having that kind of solid foundation to build off has been really good to kind of go from, because if you haven't got that foundation, then it's harder to base anything else off that, really.
LEAFIELD have definitely turned a few heads this season due to how well you've done. Do you think it'll be a challenge this summer to keep this team together, to keep building success for the future?
Well, like I just said, like, teams can just flip over a summer, and to be honest, we won't have as big of a turnover this summer as I think we did last year. And that's not like a discredit to anyone who was there in previous seasons. Just like, you know, people move on. That's just football, isn't it? So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I think we've got a really good group at the minute. I think we've got a really close-knit, like, happy group. So you never really know until it comes down to it in the summer. But myself and Tash will talk to players and see what they're thinking. But as an overall consensus, I think the mood in the camp is pretty happy, to be honest.
But that's from an outsider's point of view. They look at LEAFIELD and they see that it's like a happy bunch. So it's good that you mentioned that. It really kind of confirms what people from the outside are thinking as well. So for the end of the season then, Luke, is it just a case of pushing to get the best possible results now each game?
Yeah, so like the start of the season, we've took it game by game. That's all you can do. We can't have target games, and I said this in an interview with Kev a few weeks ago. I think it was at Worcester. Like, we knew we had a potential big game coming up, but you can't look past the next game, and that's always what we've said to the girls as well. You just need to take it game by game and see where it takes you. Obviously, we're looking next to Notts County at home, and we'll look at that game, we'll prep for it. But yeah, obviously you want to win as many games as possible and kind of breed that winning mentality into the squad and as a staff as well.
Yeah, and you just touched on Notts County, 9th of March, I believe that is. They finished just 1 point away from relegation last season as well. Another team that's mostly improved, aren't they?
Yeah, they're definitely someone who's improved, and I remember when we played them away, it was a narrow 1-0 win for us, but it was such a battling game, and they were really tough, and again knew how they wanted to play. Just a tough game, and they're just tough opponents. There's so many teams in this league that are just really tough to beat. You know, I'd probably put Lincoln United under that bracket as well, where when we played them at home, it was probably, you know, we won pretty convincingly, and then obviously we've come away now a few months after, and it was just a completely different game, really, like proper battling team, tough side, and that's exactly what Notts County will be, I think. And credit to Notts County for kind of making improvements.
Switch Radio Sport. This is Switch.